Alright, this is our 9mm versus 45 ACP melon test. We got a watermelon out there. We're going to start with the 9mm. It's the Beretta 92. And we'll be using, for our controls, there's the full metal jacket. This is Winchester white box. Start out with the full metal jacket, and then we'll go to the hollow point. Alright, go check it out. You can see there's the entry. Take a look at the exit. It's alright. It's decent. That is the full metal jacket. Let's shoot it a few more times and see what it takes to totally obliterate it. So as you can see, it took pretty much the whole 18-round clip to totally obliterate that watermelon. So let's go to 45. Alright, here's our HK45. It's going to be shooting 45 for us. Again, full metal jacket first, Winchester white box. First, watermelon. This watermelon's actually a little bigger than the others. So let's see what the full metal jacket 45 can do. Alright, let's go survey. There's the entry. There's the exit. Now you can see with the 45 right in the middle of that melon, the exit hole is a bit smaller, but the melon itself has bulged. So let's see how many rounds of 45 it will take to completely just destroy the melon. There's all the entries. And there's the exits. So it made a lot bigger cavities in the watermelon. As you can see, it's almost hollow in there, but the watermelon itself didn't separate. But I only shot 10 rounds, so let's go grab another clip and see if, like the Beretta, 10 more rounds will finish the watermelon off completely. Alright, we got 10 more rounds of Winchester white box full metal jacket, and this will make it even with the 9mm, and we'll see if we can destroy the rest of that watermelon. As you can see, that's what I meant inside about it, how it hollowed it out. It didn't like make the watermelon burst into two pieces like the 9mm did, but it pretty much just hollowed out a big cavity in there. So, and that's what you get with larger, slower moving bullets. It's stuff like that. So, let's move to the hollow points. Alright, we're back with the 9mm, except for this time we have the Winchester Supreme Elite hollow points. So we'll see what these can do at point blank range. And we got 3 rounds. So as you can see, that's pretty effective. I'd say 2 rounds would pretty much finish that off. So pretty good, I think, for 9mm. Let's shoot at it one more time real quick, just to get it off that bucket. Alright, if I was a 9mm fanboy, I might be satisfied with that. But, let's see what the 45 will do. Back here with the HK-45. Again, shooting the Winchester Supreme Elites from the exact same batch as the other one. So they were made at the same month of the year as one another. See how many rounds it takes to totally decimate this melon. I think you can see the difference. Shoot this melon over here. That's all I had. It's 3 rounds. But I think that's pretty conclusive, if I do say so myself. Alright, for those of you who are interested enough that you're still here, that was a pretty interesting test. I mean, there were some surprises on both sides. And first off, I want to start off by saying I apologize there wasn't more video. You know, I didn't think, you know, we've never maxed out my camera before. It's got 30 minutes of recording time. And we totally maxed it out. We did a lot more 9mm versus 45 ACP shooting while we were out there. But unfortunately, everything that's in this video is what we were able to come home with. But because of the interesting results, genuinely, I am interested in what's going on here. There's going to be more videos to follow. And like I said, I was surprised. 9mm and hollow points, it held its own. Now, I did find out while I was out there, a lot of that is credited to the length of this Beretta's barrel. Because one of my buddies was out there with us shooting a Ruger P93, I believe it was, and it had a 4-inch barrel, and there was a substantial difference between the FMJ hitting a watermelon with that and the hollow point hitting a watermelon with that. It was a substantially less in terms of expansion and damage done to the watermelon coming out of a 4-inch barrel as opposed to the Beretta barrel that's near 5 inches. So it did, you know, this kind of gun did help it out. But anyway, I was actually impressed. It did pretty good. I'd like to clear up something on the hollow point test. In the video, it looks like the 9mm just decimates the 45 ACP hollow point, or the 45 ACP FMJ, and that's not really happening. They're totally different in the way they act when they hit that melon. The high velocity 9mm is making a large entrance and a large exit wound and a relatively narrow channel through the watermelon, which is surprising. That actually really surprised me. Whereas the larger, slower moving 45 ACP is putting a small hole entry and a small hole exit and just totally burrowing a hole, a large cavity through the watermelon. At the end of the test, this broke the watermelon in half a lot quicker, in like 10 rounds or less, but it left large chunks of the watermelon, like substantial pieces just broke off and fell over. And but yeah, they just acted totally different, and I didn't have enough melons to try it again, so you can't substantially say that one is better than the other where that's concerned, just because they were so different in the way they acted when they hit the watermelon. But that was surprising. So as far as the hollow points go, these are my own. This gold one here is my own creation. I tested it out there. It was pretty BA, but I want to make some adjustments to it. But that's my own personal protection round. And then these are the Supreme Elites that we used. Now, testing these two against each other, I did the slow-mo video because it's hard to see because it happens fast. But the 45 ACP, again, definitely won out over the 9mm. If you see how big the expansion is in the slow-mo of the 45 ACP, you'll see that it just peels that watermelon in half. If I had hit it dead center, which unfortunately I didn't, I hit it quite a bit low. If I had hit it dead center, it would have totally peeled it up and it would have been gone in one shot. Whereas the 9mm, again, I hit kind of low on it,
And just watch the expansion. You know, you'll have the slow motion, and you'll see that with the 9mm it's a lot smaller, and the 45 it's just massive. So, and according even to the stats on the box, for example, here's the box here. Throughout, the box has from the muzzle to 50 yards. Throughout that entire distance, 45 ACP stays 120 to 150 foot-pounds ahead of 9mm throughout of energy ahead of what the 9mm is throughout the distance there on the box. And velocity almost goes down to about the same where the 9mm is concerned. So let me double check to make sure that's correct. Yeah, the velocity actually, they go down to where they're about the same. At 50 yards they're flying about the same speed. So, which is surprising also. I thought 9mm would retain its speed a lot longer. But anyway, as far as being shot with one or the other, yeah, they'll both rip you a new one. And no, I wouldn't want to be shot with either one. But, you know, will one kill you with a quickness over the other? I mean, definitely. That thing right there will give you a new hole to breathe out of. Like nobody's business. Like I said, I wouldn't want to be shot with either. But for someone to think that you're going to have superior stopping power and superior penetrating power with even a large 9mm like this one, 147 grain. It's just, you know, nonsense. Like I said, will it rip you a new one? Of course it will. Will it hurt? You know, of course. But you can't say that it's more powerful than 45 ACP. But again, if you can't handle the 45 ACP, if you can't stay on target with 45 ACP, this is a decent round. I'm pretty happy with it. For the size that it is, it held its own. Now, again, not so much in a shorter barrel, but, you know, in this Beretta, it did excellent. I'm very satisfied with our results. So, like I said, this is kind of an ongoing saga, because I swear every time I go out there to shoot at either ballistics gel, or in this case, this time when I shot at watermelons, something different comes up. I mean, that's kind of the interesting things about guns, is no two shots are the same. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe and comment. I love reading everybody's comments. Gets me thinking, gives me ideas for videos. Give me ideas for videos if you have any. And thanks for all your support, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later.